welcome to Dynamite Delight, ladies and gentlemen. If you hear someone screaming in the background, I think one of my neighbors is playing maybe a first-person shooter game or something. I don't know. Hopefully he's doing well. But this is a very worrisome Dynamite. Guys, this ain't good. What just happened at the end of Dynamite has me very concerned for MJF. Now, I am going to go for the rest of the show, but you will understand my feeling about MJF. Let's just hope he's okay. But let's start. Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy. Really good match. Surprisingly good. A good amount of chain wrestling throughout the beginning up into the middle until they picked it up like normal matches that you would see on AEW TV. But you have to admit, the very opening to the middle was mostly chain wrestling and a lot of character. That was quite good. Seeing that Adam Cole was playing up and hamming up how he always acts. And then you see the Orange Cassidy slowing it down tremendously, not letting him get what he wants to be the star of the show. Found that to be very refreshing. Now, everyone else is going to say that didn't happen, but it actually did. There was a good amount of chain wrestling and a bit of slowdown by an Orange Cassidy. It looked pretty good. To the end, Cole wins. Not surprised because first you got the super click coming out, but it didn't work that well. Then you got Bobby Fish coming out, helping out, and then right before the match was over, Kyle O'Reilly shows up, which nails Cassidy. He wins, and then you have the Bucks coming out, going like, what the hell is this? And they're looking at Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish along with Adam Cole, wondering, what the hell is this? We didn't get told about this. And he walks away with Fish and O'Reilly. Now O'Reilly is enjoying and going to enjoy AEW, counting on what angles Adam Cole and Bobby Fish are going to be in there with him. You never know. Robert Strom, I believe, is the only one left that needs to leave WWE television. Everyone is wondering when he's going to leave. The question is not when he decides to leave, but when either his contract is up or when they just flat out release him and he has to wait 3 months before he can do anything. I'm just saying. Now, we got the jobber match of Wardlow versus Captain Sean Dean. I have to look at it here because I had to try and remember his name. The jobber destroyed by Wardlow, who pretty much was pissed off already because he's maybe part of the Pinnacle, but he's not being respected like a member of the Pinnacle. He's just being used as pretty much muscle. And you can see the way he's wrestling, he is not liking the situation he's in. He's not liking it. Yeah, he's being paid, but he's still getting pissed. And this match showed it because Sean Spears is telling him, stop powerbombing the guy. You beat him, finish it. And he doesn't powerbomb the guy once or twice. He does it 4 times and then just steps on him. That's in my face. Flat out, we wonder how long until Wardlow's going to be on his own. I don't know if he'll be a heel. I don't feel like he's going to be a heel. If he goes off on his own, he's not going to be like a Brian... Let me give it to you like this. When you see Brian Cage compared to Wardlow, Brian Cage turned mostly face. I just don't see that from Wardlow. I think he'll stay heel. The question is, will they just fire him or will he just quit and then have a fight with them and then go off on his own? I don't know. I'm just saying. Now, we get the next match. And I'm going for the matches first before I do all the segments and the most important match at the end. I'm going through this. We got the TBS tournament. Well, the TBS Championship tournament. And that is pretty much Ruby Soho versus Nia Rose. Now, let's make this clear. Did I even think Nia Rose was going to win? Nope. I knew there was no way they're going to let Nia Rose be in the TBS finals. There's just no way. It's just not going to happen. I just didn't believe it because she was going up against Ruby Soho. I don't think that she lose this. Now, mind you, Ruby Soho will make it to the final round, but I didn't expect her to lose here. Now, at the very beginning, she gets attacked, Ruby Soho, by Nia Rose, and Nia Rose does the She basically grabs her jacket, pulls it over her, and gets her arm stuck. And for at least a good minute or two or three, somewhere around there, Ruby could not get her hands free because of all the rhinestones and everything that is on the arms of her jacket. That kind of is not too good. She needs to have open wrists, I think, a little bit, or some zippers or something beforehand. Unless she did, and she didn't get a chance to just unzip it. She basically was stuck, and it looked really awkward. In the end, I was not surprised, like I said. I am not surprised. So the last ones that's left is Jade Cargill and Thunder Rosa. And let's be honest, if Thunder Rosa does not win this, I want to pose this to people in the comment section. If Jade Cargill and Thunder Rosa happen, which it will, and Thunder Rosa loses, tell me how you feel, because you can tell me now if you think she's going to win or not, Jade Cargill, because as far as I'm concerned, it would be beyond stupid to let Jade Cargill win. Just very stupid. Flat out. Now, Aleister Black versus Griff Garrison. Finally remember his first name. Here's something interesting. What does this mean with Griff Garrison? He was all right with... we didn't see the new guy. I think his name is King. So we didn't see him. It was only Malachi Black by himself. But you wonder, with Griff Garrison, how angry he was and having that attitude. Do you wonder if he's going to join the House of Black? I'm wondering. Because there's a very big question if they're going to continue this or not. Because it was one-sided, 100% one-sided. Griff Garrison could not get out of the gate. The very opening, he's charging at the Malachi Black. He gets right in the face with a knee. Done. I believe it was a knee. He is done. And most of that match, he barely did anything. In the end, Malachi Black won and then gives a black mask to a blackout to a Brian Pillman Jr. Both of them done. There was not even a nothing. What I think would have been better was to bring out that new disciple to be up at... This is what I would have done if I booked it. Same thing, but at the very end of the match, you see the lights flicker and the guy named King comes out. And he stands at the very edge of the ramp. He's right there. You don't see him come out of either side, just like what Malachi Black does. He always is in the center, between the darkness and the light. Darkness and the light. Malachi Black stands. He is not evil. He is not good. He is Malachi Black. He is within both sides, as they would say. At least that's what I see it. That's where he should have been. And I think it would have been a good way to bring him in. That's just me. Now, we had several interviews and several segments. I want to say this about when it comes to Shida and Deeps. I am not interested. I'm sorry. Not because I booked them. If anyone's seen my Book and Wrestler AEW edition, I did book them. But it's not that. What does Selena Deeps actually gain by continuing this? It feels filler. Okay? It feels like filler. I'm just saying it doesn't feel like it's important. Because yes, Shida beat her twice now. And she's saying that she cheated. But honestly, it would have been better if, even if they didn't use the type of booking I did, it would have been better if Shida just became crazy and you get Selena Deeps being the good guy in this. I'm not saying for Shida to be a heel, but just loses her mind because she couldn't win. She doesn't even have to get the 50th win for that damn plaque. It would have been just better that she just turns heel. At least something different with her. I'm just saying. Next, we had the interview between Hangman Page and eventually the Bryan Danielson coming out, talking about their match on the 5th, and Bryan Danielson pretty much saying you're nothing but a crybaby, because he was disappointed what he said before Bryan Danielson came out, that I am disappointed that that match happened the way it did. I didn't come out as a winner. I came out in a draw. He didn't say it. That's what he meant. And pretty much he hated it. He was disappointed in himself. Then Bryan Danielson comes out and says, oh, you're disappointed. At least I'm not making excuses, which he does afterwards, saying that if my knee wasn't messed up and you know I would have beaten you, this sucks. There shouldn't have been a time limit, and my knee was messed up. But now he wants on the 5th, he wants another match, which is going to be done. But instead of it just being a 60-minute match, he wants judges there if it gets drawn out to another draw. He wants judges to pretty much decide who wins if it does it again. Now, I would have liked something other than the match. I'm sorry, guys. I don't agree with it. I think Iron Man match, we just did one. Falls Count Anywhere could have been good. Maybe a steel cage match. Maybe that could have been good. I don't know about the judges part. I just don't. I'm not feeling the judges. And the question is, who are you going to get? Diamond Dallas Page? He just did the Broken Skull podcast. You're going to use him? Who are you going to use? I don't know. Now, let's see. Dan Lambert. Oh, I never get bored of Dan Lambert. He knows how to piss people off and make it very clear that I can't stand that my boys, the ones by my side, who are the most greatest members of the AEW roster, they get nothing and Cody gets a title shot? This is wrong. It's bullshit. And worse yet, for me personally, I can't stand what Tony Khan wants me to do. He wants me to put over Cody Rhodes. He's a bigger dick than I am. And I thought, that was good. I did enjoy that. That was good. That was good. In the end, I gotta say it was a very effective segment. But the question is going with, what are we doing with the men of the year? Honestly, they just feel like they're floating. And yes, it is so good to see Dan Lambert there. But they need more. They need more matches. And they need to be in a real feud that really they win. Because they just went up against the Inner Circle and got their asses handed to them. I'm just saying. Now, Britt Baker's segment. Talking about Rio. I'm just going to say this. I hope it's over soon. Because I really don't want to see Rio in the title picture. Not because I hate Rio. I don't. It's just that they've given me no reason to care about her. It just feels empty. I'm just saying. Finally, the thing I'm going to talk about now that I was very worried about, and I'm still worried. Worried for MJF. Now, the match between MJF, FTR, versus Sting, who hasn't been in that section of North Carolina in 27 years as a wrestler. And all three of them, Allen, Sting, and Punk, basically were painted up. And Punk basically looked like the old classic Sting from the 80s. That's basically, even when it came to Excalibur, he got mixed up between Sting and Punk Sting. He couldn't tell who was who. That's kind of surprising because you can tell Punk, Sting. But anyway, was it a good match? It wasn't bad, at least until one major moment in the match nearing the end when Sting was interacting with the MJF. And he decides that he's going to throw him over the top rope. Now, what you normally would do is that you would wait for the guys outside to grab you. But MJF, for some reason, he was still prone like this. And it started beginning to curl. Because what they normally would do, they would grab the rope and they would try to do a somersault. Forward flip, not somersault. Forward flip. Or at least get near halfway to a forward flip. So when the guys can grab them, you don't hurt them, you don't hurt yourself. But I'll see if I have any shots. I tried to grab a shot that was in picture-in-picture. It was very hard to get because MJF was still prone straight. Think about Sabu when he got his neck snapped, crackled, and popped by the one who will not be named. He decided in mid-flight not to curl himself up. He decided to keep himself straight, and he landed straight on his neck and cracked his neck. MJF landed flat in his face and rolled up. And you can see Wheeler grab at him and saying, "Are you all right?" Because it was a bad landing. He might actually have been concussed. There's no way he didn't land straight on his face or in his head. He might be concussed, guys, because he was slightly outside where the mat line was. When he landed, I don't think he landed on the mat. And even if he did, it was straight like this or like this. Not somewhere back here, right like here, where you can land on your back. And you might be able to take the blow better. It was straight like this or straight like this. And that was bad. The match was done. The faces won. And yes, MJF got up, he walked around, but it doesn't mean he didn't break his neck. Look what happened with Ricky Starks. When he did that backflip, when he was working with Adam Page, clunk, cracked the vertebrae. He was still able to walk. So let's just hope, one, he didn't break his neck, and two, he didn't get badly concussed, because he could have been walking around and he could have a concussion. So let's just hope he's all right. And this is my review of Dynamite. Please give me a comment below. And I just got to say this, because Rampage will be on Saturday, I will probably be uploading my Booking the Wrestler Impact Edition either Thursday or Friday. I don't know which one yet, because I don't know if Impact is actually going to have an airing of a show, or is it just going to be a recap for the end of the year. So I don't know yet, but it's just me. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I will be doing Rampage. Peace.